A man named Vic is talking to his friend Darcy, who is explaining that being a father now changes everything for him. Vic is the godfather of Darcy's son, but does not speak and simply listens, as he is not yet a father himself. Darcy then hands his son to his wife before leaving with Vic, after receiving a call. Soon, they arrive at a house and discover a dead man named Paul in the basement, inside a freezer. Paul is Vic and Darcy's workmate, and they all work for a city kingpin named Alphonse, who immediately arrives at the scene. When Alphonse examines Paul's body, he finds notes in his hands and a piece of a cut photo in his mouth. A riddle is written in the note by Paul's killer, while the cut piece of the photo is part of a picture of a man. These are some of the death threats Alphonse has been receiving for months. Even though their organization controls everyone in the city, he does not know who is behind them. Alphonse then realizes that someone in the organization is doing this to him. Later, they arrive at the hideout of one of their business partners, the Jamaicans. Alphonse confronts the leader of the group, but the leader denies the accusations. Alphonse explains that he started receiving the letters and photos after he increased his cut from the Jamaicans. The leader insists they didn't do it, but Alphonse is convinced they are behind it. Alphonse then shoots the leader dead, which triggers a shootout with the remaining Jamaicans and his men. Vic is hit in the stomach while fighting them, while Alphonse is cornered by two men in one of the rooms. Fortunately, Vic finds Alphonse and takes down the two enemies, saving him. After the fight, all the Jamaicans are killed, while two of Alphonse's men die as well. Later, Vic arrives at his place and sees a woman across from his apartment staring at him. The woman, named Beatrice, waves at him and Vic waves back. Beatrice has a scar on her face from an accident a year ago. As they look at each other, Beatrice's mother, Valentine, encourages her to make the first move if she likes Vic, because he seems to be shy. But Beatrice lacks confidence since her accident, as half of her face is covered with scars. But on the next day, Vic receives a letter from Beatrice that includes her phone number. Later that night, Vic calls her, and Beatrice asks him out on a date in which Vic agrees. They soon go to a nearby diner to get to know each other better. Beatrice notices that Vic does not talk much, so she starts telling him stories. She then reveals that her scar is from a car accident a year ago. She was a former beautician and lost confidence in her job because of her scars. After a few minutes, Beatrice asks Vic to go to another place, which she describes as somewhere cold. Vic and Beatrice leaves the diner and soon arrive at a residential area, and Beatrice points to a nearby house. Beatrice then reveals that the man living there named Andras is the one who hit her with a car. But Andras was released a few weeks after the accident, while she is fated to bear the scar for the rest of her life. Beatrice wants Vic to kill Andras, and Vic becomes confused. She then reveals that she witnessed him kill a man in his apartment and recorded it on her phone. This leads to a confrontation, causing Vic to drive away. Beatrice insists he must do it for her sake, threatening to send the video to the police. Beatrice then tells him that it's either Vic kills Andras or kill her instead. The next day, Vic arrives at an abandoned ship on a nearby river and enters it. He goes below deck, where the man from the video is still alive, but chained to a chair. Vic just brings him water and food, while the man continues threatening Vic, saying that his brother will find and kill him. Vic tells the man that he was just following instructions from the person responsible for his abduction. But when the man asks who it is, Vic does not answer. Later, Vic visits Beatrice's place and she lets him in. Vic tells her that he needs more time to study Andras's movements. As they talk, Valentine arrives, and Vic prepares to leave. But before he goes, Valentine insists that he take some of her cookies with him. Later that night, Vic meets with a friend named Gregor, who takes him to an arms dealer. Vic buys a sniper from the dealer, and afterward, he and Gregor discuss how Vic is taking too much time before executing his plan. Vic does not explain why, but later at his apartment, he watches a video recording of himself with his wife and daughter in the park, revealing that he is a family man. The next day, Vic is fixing things when he learns that Alphonse is meeting with another city kingpin named Lon. Vic taps Alphonse's phone and all of his men's phones, including Darcy's, to track their movements. Meanwhile, Alphonse meets with Lon in a cafe and discusses Alphonse killing the Jamaicans. Alphonse explains that he is certain it was the Jamaicans who had been sending him threats, but Lon says he has been receiving the same notes and even got the latest one that morning. They conclude that it could not have been the Jamaicans, since they are all dead. It turns out that Vic has been the one sending those notes, and he is now on top of one of the building to finally take down Alphonse. But as he prepares to shoot Alphonse, Darcy calls. revealing that he has been investigating Paul's death and has found some clues about the killer. Darcy instructs Vic to rush to Alphonse immediately as he might be in danger, and he also calls the other men to warn them. The men warn Alphonse and they get ready to leave the place, while Vic prepares to shoot him. Vic purposely misses the shot and kills the driver instead, then prepares to flee. Unbeknownst to him, Beatrice has been following him the whole time and witnesses everything. Darcy arrives at the scene, spots Vic on the building but does not see his face, and leads the rest of the men to capture him. Vic pretends to use a rope to rappel out of the window. When one of them approaches, Vic appears from behind, wraps the rope around the man, and pushes him out of the window. Another man enters, and Vic surprises him while hanging from outside, shooting him dead before jumping. Vic runs, but after he exits the back of a diner, Beatrice arrives on her car and offers him a ride out of the area, which he can't decline. Beatrice drives but is unable to leave the area, so Vic tells her to pull over to the side of the road. When Darcy checks their car, Vic has an alibi. Darcy tells Alphonse about the progress of his investigation. Later, as Darcy and Vic talk, Darcy explains that he is doing all of this so he can rise in position and earn more for his family, who depend on him. Vic advises him to slow down with the investigation so he won't end up like Paul, but Darcy remains determined. Later that day, Beatrice arrives at Vic's apartment with his rifle and he lets her inside. As they talk, Vic reveals that his real name is Laszlo Carrick, a former Hungarian military engineer who immigrated to the US a couple of years ago to find a better job. He was living with his wife and daughter when Alphonse entered their apartment building and started shooting, accidentally killing his daughter. They filed a case against him, but Alphonse's connections allowed him to escape justice, and he later ordered his men to kill him and his wife. Fortunately, he survived, changed his name to Victor, and then made a plan to take down Alphonse and the entire mafia organization on his own. The next day, he reveals that he has set up bombs in Alphonse's warehouse hideouts, which can be triggered remotely. However, he learns that Alphonse has installed a signal jammer inside the warehouse, and he cannot disable it. Gregor explains that in order to detonate the bombs, he must be inside the warehouse as well. Gregor points out that he must find another way, but Vic has no time for a plan B. On the other hand, Alphonse finds out that his phone has been tapped and realizes that the traitor is one of his men. Later that night, he summons Vic for a talk and interrogates him, but admits that he does not suspect him as the traitor because he saved him from the Jamaicans. The next day, Vic goes back to the abandoned ship and makes the man records a video message for the man's brother, who is the leader of an Albanian gang. In the message, Alphonse is responsible for the man's abduction and that he is being held in the warehouse owned by Alphonse. After Vic finishes with the video recording, Vic removes the man's blindfold, and the man recognizes him as Laszlo. It turns out that the Albanians were the ones hired by Alphonse to kill him and his wife, and he is puzzled as to how he survived. Vic then releases some of the trapped rats inside and shoots and kills him. Later, Vic meets with Beatrice and asks her for a favor, to send a package to the Albanians that includes the video recording. Vic instructs her to get the tracking number for the package. Beatrice agrees and leaves immediately. Vic then receives a call from Darcy and learns that he is getting closer in his investigation of Paul's killer. Vic tells this to Gregor, who advises him to rethink his decision to blow up the mafia with him inside the warehouse. Gregor advises him to move on and let go of his desire for revenge, as it will not bring his family back, but Vic remains determined to do it. Later that day, Vic takes the tracking number of the package sent by Beatrice and returns the Tupperware to Valentine, telling her that the cookies were delicious. Valentine then reveals that it was actually Beatrice who made them. Valentine made Vic realize that Beatrice is a rare gem of a woman and that she loves him. Before leaving, Vic asks Beatrice out on a date that night and she agrees. Vic goes to a dress store, buys Beatrice a dress, and waits for her by the park. While sitting there, Darcy calls and tells him that he is getting closer in his investigation. Because of this, Vic changes his mind and leaves the dress behind. Later that night, instead of going on a date, Vic takes Beatrice to the bar where Andras hangs out. Vic then reveals that he is going to kill him right then and there. He gets out of the car, follows Andras, and later returns, telling Beatrice that it is done. The next day, Beatrice finds a letter from Vic on her door, revealing that he did not kill Andras. Beatrice breaks down in tears upon seeing Andras beaten yet still alive. Meanwhile, Alphonse calls the Albanians' leader Iril to meet him at his place. As the Albanians prepare to leave, a courier arrives with the video package from Vic. Darcy calls Vic, instructing him to go to Alphonse's place, but Vic makes an alibi, claiming that his car won't start and that Darcy must pick him up from his place. On the other hand, Vic arrives at the warehouse, preparing to execute his plan. But when Alphonse and his men does not arrive on time, he realizes something is wrong. At the same time, Darcy arrives at Vic's apartment. When Vic does not answer the door, Darcy forces his way inside. There he discovers Vic's secret and becomes furious with him. At the same time, Vic calls Beatrice about the package, and she admits that she removed the video recording and replaced it with a rabbit's foot. Beatrice confesses that she has fallen in love with him and does not want him to die. She also believes that Vic did not kill Andras because he cares for her and does not want her to carry that guilt for the rest of her life. Beatrice is on her way to Vic's apartment, but Vic realizes it too late, and she is intercepted by Darcy. Vic explains that he has no intention of killing Darcy, as he was not involved in the death of his family. But, still furious over Vic's betrayal, Darcy takes Beatrice to Alphonse's house. Learning that he has not time to spare, Vic immediately drives his car to Alphonse's mansion and rams his truck into the house, killing some of his men in the process. He brings some improvised bombs with him and triggers them, causing the place to explode. Vic takes down several more of Alphonse's men and the Albanians, but when he finds Darcy hiding in one of the rooms, he does not shoot him. Meanwhile, Beatrice escapes and enters another room where she finds a laptop and plays the video recording on it. When Alphonse and Ilir find her, Ilir watches the video in which his brother mentions Alphonse as his abductor, and Ilir then points his gun at Alphonse, who is confused at the moment. But Alphonse also points his gun at Ilir, and they shoot each other dead. Vic arrives at the scene and finds Beatrice unharmed. They prepare to leave, but Darcy finds them. Darcy asks why he spared him, and Vic replies that he did not kill him because his family still needs him. Darcy lowers his gun, and Vic throws his own down as a sign of peace between them. Vic and Beatrice leave town immediately to start a new life. See you in our next Film Flash. Thank you for watching.